You're listening to Health Professional Radio, and you're listening on a variety of social media and other outlets. So thank you for joining us. My name is Wayne Buckler. Today, I'm my own guest. Normally, I'm doing the interviews of someone else, but today it's me, and we're talking about AI in medical practices and similar situations. So I just thought I would share some of my experiences on what I'm doing with AI for those of you who are involved in the health profession somewhere. And I've got a little tip if you're a patient as well. So about a month ago, I started by getting hold of a Mac Mini and installing a copy of OpenClaw and subsequently a copy of Hermes on it, both of which are third-party software that accesses whatever multi-language model you connect it to. And in fact, they can connect to a group of about 30. One of mine is connected to Anthropic, often called Claude, and another one of mine is connected to DeepSeek, which is a Chinese one. DeepSeek is virtually free. I think it's cost me less than $5 for a month's worth of use. Anthropic charges, and it's cost me about $50 a day for the last month. And because I work in outsourcing as well, I can tell you that $50 a day is probably enough for me to hire 3 Filipino admin staff. So I don't think it's worthwhile doing what I'm doing, but I've now told that AI, the OpenClaw AI, to use a cheaper model to reduce the costs, and that's working. I also have Claude Cowork set up on my computer. It's a different arrangement, but it does have memory, which is what made me use the setup with OpenClaw and Hermes in the first place. So now you'd have to look at, do you just use OpenClaw or do you set one up yourself? The memory is really important. If you've been to ChatGPT or any other AI and you've said, correct the grammar in this document, or, you know, write me an email here, and then it's given you that and you've closed it down, it will have forgotten everything it did. It doesn't have a memory. And it doesn't have hands. I call them hands. I'm sorry. I've humanized all my AI. They've all got names. One is Jake, one is Ian, one is Leo, one is Henry. And by hands, I mean it can do stuff. So it can access my Google Drive. It can put stuff in a directory. It can write emails for me. I won't allow it to send them for me, but it can write them for me. And if I let it, it would send them, but I make it, put them in drafts, and then I just go and approve the draft because I want to know what it's saying. It can do a whole lot of stuff. I've let it connect with my accounting system, so it can put transactions into my accounting system. I let it build me a CRM. I closed down the CRM I was using, and now my 4 or 5 staff can send it an email to add stuff to the CRM, or they can use WhatsApp and send stuff to it to add into the CRM. And because I couldn't get anyone to use the CRM, I was the only one using the CRM. I was spending $1,000 a month on it, and none of the staff would ever use it. They'd use it for 10 minutes while I shouted at them. And as soon as I stopped people, the salespeople would just drift back to not doing anything. So now they're actually using that. So they can do stuff like take a photo of a business card and send it there, and the AI knows to say, oh, this is probably meant to go in the CRM, and it asks them, was this a prospect or a contact or whatever it was? If they're talking to leads or clients on LinkedIn, which we do a lot, they can just screen capture the chat, send it to Jake, and Jake will put it into the CRM because it knows from the screen chat who that's from. It knows where to put it, the right person, and all the rest of it. If it's a new contact, they just open up their profile, take a photo of it, and Jake will put all that profile information into the AI. So what I've been able to do for those of you who are running medical businesses is some successful use cases on actually doing something useful with AI. And for those of you who are patients, the other thing I've done is I have, using OpenAI, I've opened what they call a private GPT. So this is a private chat channel or a dedicated chat channel. And you can allow it to go to the outside world, to the internet, or you can allow it to only use the information you've given it. And then I've gone back through my emails, and I've had emails that I've kept for 20 years for all of the pathology results that I've ever got, because for me, they all come via email. And I've put them all into a directory and given that whole directory of files to that chat GPT. Now, I'm the only one who can access it. But now I say to it, give me a chart of my blood pressure over the last 10 years, and it will do that. And then it said to me, you know, what medications do you take? So I now give it all my prescriptions, and I give it all my image reports. I don't give it the images. You can actually do that, but I don't bother. I just give it the image reports for x-rays, ultrasounds, CAT scans, whatever. And so it's got all that information. So before I go to a new doctor, and because I live in the Philippines, I often go to new doctors and new specialists. And here the system's a bit different. They don't communicate with one another much like they do in Australia. So I have just been to a new urologist, and I said to the AI, give me a report on my prostate and PSA going back for as much information as you have. And it came back with 10 years worth, and here it all is. So when I go to see a new urologist, I go, blop, there it is. So I think there are some clever things to do if you're a patient with AI. And I think if you're a business owner, if you're a medical business owner, practice, whatever, if you work in the field, I think there are some clever things you can do, which as far as I can tell, are not breaking any rules. You do have to be careful with stuff that you put into AI. You have to manage the HIPAA requirements and everything else. But man, if I was studying now, and thank goodness I've given up my university days, I was an academic for a while, but oh, what a hassle. I would now be using AI absolutely to keep track of my research and as a research library that I could search stuff in. I wouldn't have piles of index cards anymore, trust me. Anyway, I just thought I would share that with you. You're going to see me doing some more stuff on HPR, and we have been publishing a bit of outsourcing and AI stuff here, but we're going to move that stuff off this channel and into one of our other channels, Offshoring and Outsourcing PH, and keep this as dedicated to those of you who have subscribed. Thank you very much over the years who were interested in medical content. So if you're seeing it for the first time, if you're new to me and new to the channel, thank you very much. And please show that you're here by subscribing, liking, clicking the bell, whatever channel you're watching it on, do the things that show us. And if you've got any questions, please pop them in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. And I appreciate your time today.